Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today we're talking about oats, and we have the question, do oats contain gluten? Well, the answer to that is not quite so simple. The answer is no and possibly yes, okay? So to start with, on the no part, oats themselves do not contain gluten, not naturally anyway. They do not contain gluten. However, if you are gluten sensitive, you want to make sure that you purchase oats that are labeled as being gluten-free. Why is that? Well, the manufacturers that process grains will often process more than one grain in their facility. And if they process grains that contain gluten like wheat, rye, and barley, their equipment will very likely have some remnants of those other grains on there. And then if they process oats, those oats can be contaminated with the components of the other grains. Therefore, they can potentially contain gluten as a result of the contamination from the other grains. So we call that contaminant gluten. So in that case, yes, those oats would potentially have gluten in them. So if you buy oats and you are sensitive to gluten and you notice on the package it does not say gluten-free, chances are those oats were processed in a facility that also processes gluten-containing grains. It probably has contaminant gluten in there, and you should avoid them and opt for oats that are labeled as being gluten-free. Now, there is another possibility on gluten contamination. There's a small subset of people who might still react to oats even if they are labeled gluten-free. Why and how can this happen? Well, sometimes oats are grown in a field that might be adjacent to a field where a gluten-containing grain is being grown. Let's say wheat is in one field, and right next to it we've got oats. The wind can carry some contamination from the wheat over to the oats, and then the oats can possibly have yet more contamination, gluten on them. So if you have a gluten sensitivity and you find that you do react to gluten-free oats, it is possible that they were grown in a field next to a field where gluten-containing grains are grown. You might check with the producer of those oats to see where and how they were grown, or switch brands and try another brand of oats, and hopefully you won't react to them. Or if you continue to react, you may have to just forego oats altogether. But that hopefully answers your question on the fact that we have a fuzzy answer to if oats contain gluten or not. Technically speaking, they do not, but they can have contamination in them from gluten-containing grains. Well, I do hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Bye for now.